Hello everyone and welcome to the campaign session for D&D. This is the Seregen campaign to be exact, episode 54. You're coming in on a July afternoon / evening depending on where you're at. And I am of course the Wombat of DM. Welcome back. And let's introduce our party.
Hello, I am the Banewall. I am Belzian Gilcus, the half-elf monk, who recently leveled up and is excited.
And I'm Amethyst, and I play Roger, the Wood Elf Assassin. Wood Elf Assassin? Yes, he would.
Ulrich will be here in a moment. He is still commuting from work and will be here momentarily. But he is Ulrich, the human paladin, and he doesn't assassinate, nor does he wood.
I am Jaeger. I play Yarvik Venisonbringer, the Halfling Ranger, Rider of Dragons.
I am Tomek. I play Zippo, the Cobalt Sorcerer. I'm very jealous and definitely didn't pick Fireball just to hit Yarvik by accident, air quotes, because he rode the dragon before me.
Yes. Well, welcome back, everyone. Shortest gap between sessions yet. We just played on Saturday for our special session, where we just, had a council meeting. So the group got to the council meeting and basically tried to get the council to agree to join in an alliance between the humans and if the vampires agree to it, the vampires, in an effort to prevent the war from starting. Of course, there's one little needling thing that's kind of helping to grease the wheels there, and that's a in-current demon invasion set forth a couple sessions ago out in the Eternal Clan lands. Unfortunately, because it came out in the Eternal Clan lands, Bryn, the leader of the Eternal Clan, did not make it to the council meeting, which was actually good news for the party because that meant that even though they were late, they were not late. The council hadn't even started. But it's kind of too bad for that guy, I guess. So the party had to convince the council members in various different ways, whether it be by words or by weapons, whether they were worthy enough to be allied with. And in the end, the vote was unanimous. Oh, and I see Ulrich is here. So I will remove baby Ulrich from the chat. And I think everything is organized still the same. Yep. Perfect. All right, cool. Welcome in, Ulrich.
Thank you.
Yeah, do what you need to do. Take a seat. I'm doing the intro still, so good timing. Once that vote had been cast, where all 11 remaining members of the council voted in favor of supporting this union, an alarm went off some time after that, and the council investigated by raising the platform up to look out, and what the group witnessed was an attack of some sort of demonic army beginning to lay siege to the east end of the city wall. And that's where we left it off last time. So of course we don't have our guest stars this time, so I will be voicing all of the council members in some fashion or another. But we miss them. They are here in spirit. All right, so I guess I'll describe what happens next in terms of council reactions. So after a moment of consideration, different members of the council leap into action, some quite literally as Rift and Deirdre both launch themselves off of the tower to fly below. Riff says, through the ring, you need to leave here quickly before you get cut off or attacked yourselves. If they mean to lay siege, we could be here a while. And he flies off. Other members of the council begin discussing plans. You see Glorin, Yeora, and Nexus huddling close together, talking strategy. They seem to be working on an offensive. Other members of the council are going down some steps to go back to the elevator to kind of start ordering troops and things like that. What do you folks do?
If I remember correctly, Yeora had offered us a ride on some rocks.
Yep.
So when she has a free second or so, we'll ask her when/where we should meet those rocks.
Okay.
I will just point out that we offered, part of our alliance was to assist with the demons. So we shouldn't make it seem like we're in too much of a hurry to get out of here without helping.
So are you saying that we should knock out 1 or 2 demons each on the way out, or?
Just mostly, just not like, well, you all got this, right?
Yeah,
All
be right
right,
back.
bye.
I mean, on one hand, yes. On the other hand, I largely agree with Riff that we don't want to get trapped here.
Yeah. Also, I mean, the council they understand our mission, right? Like, this is a whole city that's walled and should be able to take care of itself. Hopefully. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would just say that we should make sure to frame it as we will seek aid from the south. Best of luck. Kind of. We're going to bring backup.
Yeah, exactly. We're not just noping out to nope out.
Yeah. To seek aid from the south, or failing that, from the west.
On the 5th day,
Hopefully both.
Yeah.
look to the east as the sun rises. All right, so Roger is waiting for Yeora to be done patiently. Any other members doing anything, or are we all waiting?
Can we see we probably can't see them in detail, can we? We just do
You can go over to the side and look out if you like.
yeah. Zippo's going over to the sides to see how many of the ones that look like his old master you can see.
Okay, are you gonna look through your periscope?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You all have periscopes. I gave you all periscopes. Don't forget to use the periscopes. They're cool. All
I'd
right.
like to use the periscope.
So,
Sure, I'll use the periscope. Also, what direction are they attacking from?
from the east.
We all have periscopes? I thought just Zippo had one.
Yeah,
You were-
I was the only one that had one.
You
So
were
I'm
all
like, oh,
issued
one of them.
periscopes, I think, from Rift. They were in your inventory.
They're issued bronze plan.
Yeah, I think they were a gift from the Bronze Clan.
Regulatory.
I will add a telescope. Or binoculars.
Opera glasses.
All right, since Zippo's the first one to look, and the rest of the party's like, "Oh yeah, we've got periscopes," when he pulls them out, I'll describe them to Zippo. So Zippo's specifically looking for ones that look like his master, which, as a reminder, is that 6-armed serpentine-looking demon. So there's a gaggle of many different types. There's a great many of the of smaller types of demons, kind of like packs, kind of running together in packs, kind of like wolves, but in more organization and snarling, and they definitely don't look like wolves, but they're running on all fours. So there's some extremely large demons that are not running. Instead, they are rolled up in a ball and rolling forward toward the wall. They look to be probably So you see that they've kind of tucked themselves up and are rolling with momentum toward the wall. The first one hits, and with a great thud, it hits the wall, and you can kind of feel the concussion hit the air from even here as that great impact hits, and then pum, 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 as more of the roly ball-looking demons hit the wall as well. You see that there is some damage, but they did not make it through the wall with this impact. There are some flying demons that seem to already be harassed by some of the flying variants of the barbarians. Some rocks are attacking with riders. Some dragons as well as Rift and Deirdres are attacking. They are not attacking in a unified effort. The collection of metallic dragons are fighting their own fight. The prismatic dragons are fighting their own fight, and they're very different tactics. It seems like the prismatic dragons are kind of fighting with organized chaos, whereas the metallic dragons seem to be in formation and doing bombing runs and things like that. So, very different fighting styles. They're not communicating with each other, but they're getting the job done either way. That being said, there are definitely some demons that are climbing over the wall, getting through the wall, things like that as you're watching. It's kind of hard to tell specifics of what each smaller type of demon looks like from here, though. The larger ones, pretty easy to tell. Flying ones, easier to single out. Smaller ones that are on the ground, they kind of all just run together in a dark mass.
The foe is he's gonna be like, all right, boys, I'm okay with either plan, killing or getting there to get vampire help if possible. So y'all just make a choice. And then as he's saying that, you can see him you can see kind of in his eyes, he's got that fighting ready to fight something, because that's all he ever really does. So he's definitely more for the fighting side, but he understands the
I'll give you an image of what the battle currently kind of looks like. It looks like, when a swarm of ants descends upon food, so that you can kind of barely see the food between the ants. That's what the eastern side of the wall looks like right now.
This is getting serious. What's that clan leader's name? The one that offered us a ride?
Yaora.
We might have to interrupt her. I think we are in danger of not being able to get out of here.
You turn to look at Yaora, and Roger, you've been kind of watching the whole time. Glorin rushes off. Nexus follows closely behind, and Yaora stays and motions the group over.
We come over.
Okay. I have sent word to my clan. I can offer 3 rocks with riders for each to guide your rocks. So it will be 3 soldiers, 3 rocks between the 5 of you.
Well, that is incredibly kind. Thank you.
They will take you where you need to go, and then they will return. And then you will return, yes?
Yes.
Good.
With an army from the south if we can, and from the west regardless.
She nods, pulls out a whistle, and you see a great rock, larger than any rock you've seen before, if you've seen many rocks. This one's much larger than most. You see it kind of swoop into view from the sky, from the cloud cover above. Kind of swoops down, makes kind of like a dive adjacent to the tower, and she runs and jumps off, lands on the rock, and flies down into battle.
What a legend.
A few moments later, 3 rocks fly up from below and land on the tower. The soldiers motion you quickly to come on. There are some demons that are flying toward the tower. Some have been cut off by soldiers, but there's quite a few of them, and they're small, so it's not like they can get the big one, all the big ones. They're waving with some urgency.
Up, let's get on there and start picking these off so these men can fly.
All right, so the party mounts up on the rocks. Who's riding on which rock? Who's riding? Since there's 5 of us.
Rock A, B, and 3.
I assume Zippo and Yarvik together.
That kind of makes the most sense.
And then I guess maybe Roger and Belzian is, I think, combined there. the next lightest group.
Okay.
And then Ulrich by himself, or we could have.
Yeah, I'm too heavy. I get it.
So studying the saddles as you get close to the rocks, you see that the saddles have a rider position as well as 3 other strap-in points. One closer to either side of the wing, along the spine of the rock, and then one centered on the spine closer to the tail. And I don't mean like closer to the tail. I mean like if you're making a diamond shape on the back of the rock. There's 3 more spots in addition to the rider.
We could also pair up each of the short people with one of the tall people.
Zippo's also okay with being by himself.
That's fine. It also does kind of break up the firepower a little bit as far as ranged. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because I think he, Yarvik, and Roger are the only 3 ranged attacks that we have, right?
I can throw darts. They are not very helpful.
I have a crossbow, but yeah.
Alright, I guess it'll be Roger and Ulrich then. Yarvik and Belzian and Zippo wanted to be by himself.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's ride, Yarvik.
woohoo!
There are handholds to climb up onto the rock. They kind of go along the flank of the rock and around the wing, and you can kind of clamber up the back to the points that you need to. The rock is currently sitting with its arms tucked, or its wings tucked, so it's an easy climb. There are places where you can strap yourself in, and if you do so, you'll find that it's very hard for you to move your legs at all. You're able to move your upper body, but you'll be kind of secured in place. If this rock ride is anything like what Yaora just experienced, where she went diving down with the rock, you'll probably be grateful to be that strapped in.
Zippo's very excited. He
It's
gets on the back position for more coverage of areas.
okay, so closer to the tail then.
Yeah, like the one in the back so that he can kind of like look around and be like in a center position rather than having to turn all the way around to shoot at the other side if he needs to.
Okay, so you're directly behind the rider, but not like immediately behind him.
Yep.
Got it.
So is the rider is each rock's rider in the tip of the diamond closest to the head?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll have to take the same position all the way in the back.
Okay.
Tail gunner, hey. Belvin will jump on left. It's like third base, I guess. If home base is the tail gunner.
Okay.
Left wing.
Ulrich.
Ulrich, sorry, I'm actually just getting into the house.
Oh, you're good.
Ulrich will be whatever Roger didn't do. I know there are 3 options, but
Roger.
just the wings.
Roger will take the back seat. I'm not going to be able to cover underneath the rock, but I should be able to cover all of the above.
Sounds good. All right. So, that being said, once you feel like you're strapped in and tell the riders so, they launch themselves into flight and begin heading immediately west before heading south to directly avoid any of the combat as they fly out. They don't want to take any risks of getting hit and going down before the trip's even begun.
Fair.
The rider with you, Roger, is an elf, and the 2 others are humans.
Okay. Oh, I guess I have to ask the party, and I'll do this over the rings. But where in Necrata do we start? Do we go back to Aurora to talk to the elvish leader there? Myas, I think was his name.
Reynard.
Reynard Myas.
That makes sense to me.
Seems like a good place to start.
I mean, that's good, but that would draw a lot of unwanted attention to the elves, since the vampires aren't aware, you know? So, I mean, honestly, I feel like that's a good plan on, like, the top, but I'd like to get to that treasure in case it's something that the vampires might want, and Zibbo might reluctantly give up.
I
Zibbo
understand
said that in
that.
third person, by the way. That wasn't me as Brent, that was me as Zibbo.
Gotcha. My concern with going too deep into Necrata is that I think the rocks will probably get shot down, and that would be bad.
And it would be good to let
Elmorel
the
is-
know that there is a peace potentially brokered.
Elmorel is directly south of us.
We were told to avoid Elmorel on our way through because we had humans in the group.
That's right.
Almarel is actually not directly south. It's more northeast of you, or southeast of you.
Southeast, yeah. It's the closest major city, I think.
Yeah, I would like to go to Aurora because we have a person we know is friendly there who gave us this task to convince the clans of Relic in the first place. And with that done, we can bring the next... ask him for advice on the next step. Also, heading towards Aurora points us in the direction of the place Zippo wants to go.
Yeah, maybe the NPC's quest lines have changed now that you've completed some of the quest.
Right? Maybe we could land close to Aurora, because we don't want to draw undue attention to them.
If we want to stay a distance from Aurora, we could always land in that big scar that the Tusk clan carved down through the forest.
A previous battlefield.
That would be very easily visible from the sky, and as far as we know, isn't near any major cities. At least not anymore. And might be a good place to avoid getting shot at. It's like 3 days walk from Aurora, which is not ideal. But if we can find any of the teleporting trees, then it'll go much faster. What does the rest of the party think?
I think that's a reasonable landmark to aim for.
Oh yeah, also these riders might know where it is.
They might have been there already. Oops.
They might know a guy.
Okay, if we're largely agreed on that, I'll tell our rider if he can aim for that area.
You can lead me when we're approaching, but we are gonna head south for as much as we can once we get east or west of this battle.
Understood.
We aim to probably follow the river down, at least through the Tusk clan.
That's perfect. That should take us fairly close to where I'm thinking of anyway.
All right, so you begin kind of in a descent dive to kind of pick up speed and then kind of flatten out to get some easy speed without making the rocks kind of work for it. You kind of feel yourselves being picked up on different air drafts as you go. You do notice that there's a giant turtle heading toward the battle from the western side of the city. It's walking its way around, and it's roaring in anger. It seems to be ready for a battle. You can see people preparing what seems to be small siege engines off the edges of the giant dragon turtle. And you can see Leo at its head in full emblazoned armor. He was wearing fine, fancy clothes when he was in the council meeting. Those have been replaced with brilliant, shining, platinum-looking armor. And it glows a brilliant blue. A magical blue.
I gotta give me a set of that.
And just like that, you're past the turtle dragon and continuing east. All right. So let's talk about rock travel. The rocks can go for quite a while without resting. They can also travel pretty good speeds. Ulrich, you kind of know this already because you know for a fact that the rocks can travel a good distance in a short period of time, because even though the wall had gone down less than a week prior, the Axe Clan had intel on pretty much every edge of the kingdom on the map, right? So that's good news for us, right?
Yeah, I remember those.
They do be zooming.
So rocks are gargantuan in size, as a heads up, folks. Their fly speed is 120 feet per round. So if they're booking it, that's double speed. Yeah, so they're going to be making some pretty great speed for you.
8 times as fast as we usually go.
Right, and you're going even faster than you were on the dinosaurs, which was pretty fast. So
Wow. These guys are a little bit faster than me.
yeah, they flying. All right. So, I will also say that the council meeting, you arrived at the council meeting about 4 o'clock, and I would say it was about 3 or 4 hours before the invasion of the demons. So the sun was all but setting when the invasion happened. It was getting to nightfall. So it quickly gets dark the farther you travel, which may be good or may not be good depending on how you look at it. Harder to spot, but you don't know what the activity of the demons are day versus night. So for all intents and purposes, the riders are now part of the group, but they are player NPCs. You can basically, as you have told them where to go, think of them as you think of it as you are guiding the rocks wherever they need to go. So you're going to be letting me know when you want to stop versus when you want to continue forward. When you want to rest, when you want to push it. They'll give you advice if you ask for it, but ultimately consider them your units.
I mean, I'll ask them how safe it is to push the rocks.
Well, it depends on how fast you want to get there and how well you want to use them in combat. The more tired they are, the less maneuverability they have, which means the easier we'll get hit. The less tired they are, the slower we'll go. And the less possibility is we can get hit.
I don't want to get your mounts injured, so let's not push them too hard. We're in a hurry, but as long as we're not trapped in a city under siege, I'd rather see you be fighting fit and able to rejoin your clan in one piece.
Yeah, I'd say, 50, 70%. How high are we?
You're currently, you're not sure how high, but high. If you fell, you'd probably die.
Okay.
Above max fall distance.
Below cloud cover,
I-
but high enough.
All right.
Say we book it out, get well clear of this, and then, we will have to rest at some point. I'm assuming we can't rest in the saddle, because you can't really rest in the saddle.
No.
At some point,
No.
we have to land.
Correct.
I think we let the riders choose where to land. They're the most experienced with this land. They know where it's safe to. We can keep watch and let them rest for tomorrow.
Okay. So, as Roger said, these mounts can go 4 times faster than you can on foot. I believe horses are 60 move, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And your dinosaurs were 90. So, with this being 120, you're basically going 2 full squares instead of a square and a half of the dinosaurs per day. So, that's still quite a ways for sure. But going double speed or going without rest or things like that, you can probably elongate that to 3 per day when you want to push it and so on. So, as promised, the rocks continue to fly away from the city of Sarasota and ask when you want to stop for the night. Or are we going all night?
Looking at our map, can we ask them to get us into the Rock Clan lands before we break for the night?
Sure.
'Cause that should be a full day's trip and plus an hour or 2.
All right. So they fly for a full day and land here right on the edge of the river, just inside the Rock Clan lands.
All right. What are the names of our? I guess we should introduce ourselves to our escorts.
Well met. Yes.
Let me get those up for you. Sorry, I should have had that prepared. Well, I have it prepared. I just have to get the page up.
You're good. This is the thing that I'm always the least prepared for when my players ask me when I'm running a game. So what's the name of this random NPC? I don't know.
That's why the players need to keep notes so the DM can remember. Especially
Footman
if you're
1,
looking
Footman
about
2, and Footman 3.
Yeah, if this is why, like, okay, if I told you something, you need to write it down, because I might not remember that 3 months from now when you ask me again, and I might not have written it down to begin with.
it's hard to come up with names on the fly.
Hey.
So one of the humans is named Raven Watermall. That's Ravin Watermall. The other human is named To Kim, Tohkim. And where is? Hey folks, we'll be right back.
Better than goblins at the very least.
I'm gonna put us on a 10-minute break now. I'll be back.
Okay. See you shortly.
Yep. All right, we're back from break. Sorry about the delay. We had a cat emergency where my cat was terrorizing the house, so I had to kind of go handle that. So we are back. I basically think of it as my own demon invasion. So I think where we last left off, I was just about to tell you what the elf's name is, and his name is Quiris Winddream. So Quiris Winddream with 2 D's.
Also known as FTJ. It's also known as FTJ.
Yeah, we're calling him FTJ now.
Sorry, you
FTJ?
spelled that once, but I missed it.
Quiris, and then Winddream, common spelling.
I kind of nailed that wind part, though.
Is that Quiris?
Yes, Quiris.
Quiris Winddream.
Curious name.
All right. Time to take watch, I guess.
Yeah, as the sun begins to shine light on the horizon, the party begins to take rest for the night, being reminded of a certain time period in their life where they had to reverse their watch in the past. It seems like you always are sleeping at night when there's vampires on your mind. Or sleeping during the day when there's vampires on your mind. There we go. Nailed it. So, who's doing what watch? What's the plan?
So take the last one.
And I'll take the first watch.
Or flip a coin as well. I guess I'll take. When does Roger actually awake time? That'll be the 3rd, I think, where Belgium goes.
Okay.
I can't.
All right. The riders also take a watch. One takes a watch with middle watch with Yarvik. The other 2 take 1st and 3rd, respectively. So Quiris is 2nd, and the other 2 are 1st and 3rd.
Dark vision for any meat.
Okay, the 2 humans need dark vision, and so do you and Ulrich.
Oh.
So you're spending 4.
So is it one per? I only have 3 spell slots. Is it each? What is it? One spell per person? Is that how it works, or is it one?
Correct.
Cast for it?
One casting per person.
Sure. I mean, we're resting, so I'll get it back. Well, I only have 3, so somebody's.
Wait, isn't it daytime though?
Yep.
Oh, it's daytime.
So we don't. Yeah, we don't need it.
We're back in vampire time.
I just rolled with it. you're past level 10 now. I'm done helping.
Disregard.
All right. I guess I could have said that the 2 humans don't need it, and not explain why, but anyway. All right, so let's start with first watch. The rest of the group goes to sleep. The rock riders actually have the rocks sleep as well. They put hoods over their heads. The rocks kind of instinctually fan out their wings instead of having them loose against themselves. They're kind of out a little bit since it's during the day. And they're not in a sheltered area. They kind of create a natural shelter with their wings that the party can rest under and blot out the light.
I got a 27 on perception.
Okay.
And I got an 18.
All right. So what you folks doing?
I think just contemplating. Like, I don't think Ulrich's got a real agenda right now.
Okay. You're pretty.
Yeah, we've
Go ahead.
basically been on alert all day, right?
For sure. Yeah, it's been a long day. You actually, so just to put in perspective how far you've come today, in terms of the level of exhaustion you probably are feeling right now, with no snapping. You rode dinosaurs across the river at the fork here, and then rode rocks here. So you've traveled 128 miles today. You've been up for 24 hours at this point. If you didn't rest tonight, you would be incurring a point of exhaustion. In fact, you probably already have one, but resting will clear that up. So, remind me again, a point of exhaustion, would that affect your rolls? Probably, right?
Yeah, so exhaustion, if we have the 1 level,
Yes.
is, disadvantage on skill checks, right? Yeah, ability checks, rather.
Okay, so now that I say that, Roger and Ulrich, could you just roll one more time? All right.
That'll be the one I take.
22.
Just to describe the surroundings, this is kind of similar to the plain to the east of you that you traveled earlier yesterday. The river is, you're at the mouth of where the river that you crossed earlier in the day, or I guess earlier yesterday, comes into the main river here. This river is a little bit more shallow and murky. It seems to be the main river that goes throughout Relic. If you look on your map, it kind of comes out of the spine that you kind of went through when heading to Saraseta, out of the Black Dragon lands, before it goes into some swampy area in the Black and Tusk clan areas, before it turns back into a river and travels north in a kind of a roundabout motion until it gets to the ocean. You notice to the northeast of you a grouping of ships moored in what seems to be kind of a more deep area of the river as opposed to the more shallow river at this point. It seems to get more deep when the other river joins. The area inclines to the north of you, so you can't see where the river turns. That hill kind of represents that elevation there in the map. Knowing what you know about the bugbears and the merfolk, you can, and what the rock rider informs you if you ask, which you probably
Of course I
do.
ask. Yeah.
Those ships belong to the bugbear and merfolk clans. So it's Rildris's and Frit Ragnus fleet.
I think Ulrich might just inquire. I mean, obviously you don't travel by way of ships yourself, but would you say that's a fairly safe means of travel? Quick? Or do you find the rocks to be the safest and quickest way?
Well, the ships seem to carry the wind just as well as wings do, but I can't say for certain how fast they are compared to the rocks. I've never tried racing one. I don't tend to see ships too often. We do have an ocean front on our shores, but the bugbears and the merfolk don't tend to be in these waters often unless for a council meeting. We tend to see the ships on the ocean.
Right. I'm just kind of thinking, because we're gonna have to part ways. I'm wondering if, I suppose the vampires will have a quick means of travel for us.
I suppose when the time comes, you'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, so I'm just mostly kind of thinking about how we're going to march their forces up to face your demons.
If indeed these are the only demons.
Yep.
What do you mean by that?
Perhaps there's an invasion to the south.
Or to the west. Or all
Or
three.
to the west.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
The good news is, if demons are invading everywhere, our job of unifying all of the realms should be easier.
Well, yeah, at least,
It's a Pyrrhic victory, though.
it's right. It's a war on three fronts, then.
Yeah,
But,
that sounds like more division, not more unification.
Yeah, I mean, everyone will just kind of focus on their own thing, but at the very least, we can agree that we won't be invading and fighting one another, which will be useful. You know, Roger,
Yes, all
I
right.
just had a really, really bad thought.
Tell us.
Actually, let me ask the DM something.
Sure.
From a religious standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
what is the afterlife situation?
So,
Or what do people, how much do people know of it, or what do they believe?
so I think I just popped up the run of our handout, correct?
Yeah, it just came up.
Okay, so with the run of our handout, there is the description of the different planes. The outer planes, there is the upper and
wait,
lower.
Something went wrong on mine.
Oh, okay. Well, no problem. the one that's linked in our Discord as well. But yeah, ultimately, the planes are the afterlife in some capacities, but they're also places within the planes that you can travel to. So, the planes are the place of the gods, or where things that meet the gods might be. There's other endless material planes out there as well, perhaps. Some theorize that they're just reflections of Renovar. Others think that they're individual places where maybe even some of these creatures and beings might come from that pop in or out of existence in Renovar, just like, the elementals come in and out of Renovar through thin places. So, ultimately, all that's known is that the 12 reside there in some capacity, and that when you die, your soul is drawn to a specific polar area of the planes, and eventually you might even be granted a new life by the gods in the material plane once more.
So, sorry, big side note, but
Sure.
but now because it's been a minute since I've looked through this, and there is a question that has just kind of popped up in my mind as I look through. First, how much of this does the common person know, or even maybe the more than common noble like Ulrich know?
I would say nobles are more knowledgeable on the planes, mainly because nobles are meant to emulate the gods in some way. They kind of feel like they're greater powers, right, of their own. So a lot of the nobility in Seregen is of that mindset of that they were granted leadership by the gods, especially the ruling family. Of course, there's none left to believe that now, so we'll see what happens in the future. But ultimately, whether the nobles believe in it or not, the 12 have always been, and kind of some general knowledge about the planes has always been something of scholarly value. So if that's something your character might have invested in a scholarly background in some way, then you can by all means know basic information about the planes. But I tried to keep the descriptions of each kind of vague enough as well to just kind of wet the whistle. And for all you know, that might not be actually what it is. It might that's just kind of the common knowledge of what those planes are.
And well, part of why I ask is because the sidereal or
Sidereal.
how you say it?
Sidereal.
Sidereal, okay. Sidereal plane. That in particular is a little more descriptive,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just kind of curious. Well, it's I suppose it's Sea of Stars. So when you say night sky, it is
Yes. Yeah. It's exactly
an
what
actual
it is.
like starry night, not like a. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Never
So
mind.
think
I
of
was gonna
the sidereal
theorize on something.
plane.
Anyway, the thing that
Think of the sidereal plane as basically space.
yeah.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. The thing that Ulrich was going to just kind of contemplate has to do with where a bad person may go in their afterlife.
Yeah.
And I guess would he have some sense of that? I mean, the lower realms, I assume, like someone going to the abyss probably wouldn't be a thing that would be in the common
Correct.
belief system, correct?
Right.
Okay, then I'll just kind of modify this. I mean, what if and bear with me. What if instead of just being a three-front invasion, what if each invasion is done by a different demonic brother, and they're all vying for control? Wouldn't that just take it?
Let's say that leaves us with the same problem as before and just a new group of people to convince.
Exactly. Well, I mean, but it also just feels like, just our luck, right? Go through the fucking Three Brothers War once, now we got the Three Demon Brothers War.
Well, Three Brothers War, then three realms, and then three demons. That's rule of 3 by 3.
Now they say comedy comes in 3. I assume tragedy does too. So
It's only funny if you don't have to walk all the way across
things
the continent
about
3 times. or ride.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for the ride. It's very nice. Also, if you wouldn't want to feel that we're being a little too rough with the rocks,
You're breaking up. You're getting a little robot-y shade. Is anybody else hearing that?
So
You're clearing up a little bit though.
Yep. I'm gonna sign out, but he was just rambling, so I'm done.
Well, I was interested in hearing it.
Rip. We want your rant recorded for posterity.
Yeah, so that when it comes true or is false, we can clip it and say he was right or wrong all along.
Wow, I'm just saying, we're trusted in. We want to get there in a hurry, but please do let us know if we're being too rough with the rocks. They're your animals. If we can't go a certain speed, we go the speed you feel is right. That's all.
And with that, we should probably wake up second watch.
I will say from the descriptions of the different upper and lower realms, none of them describe this is a place you go when you die. It describes kind of what they are. It doesn't describe where you go.
Okay. Cool.
Interesting.
So what I'll say to that is, as I said, it's believed that you go to the plains when you die. From there, it's to be with the gods. That's all that's known. All right, second watch. That's Quiris and Yarvik, I believe.
Yep.
You're also exhausted, so roll a second time. I anticipate you won't get much lower than that. Oh, I was wrong.
Through the 12, all things are possible.
Yarvik is just gonna light the pipe that the halfling clan leader gave him, and Yarvik is pretty much talked out. He did a lot of shooting at the council meeting. He did a lot of talking at the council meeting. He just kind of wants to be in his own head for right now. He's not trying to be rude to the rider, obviously. He's appreciative, but he's
Okay.
just Yarvik is taking up time until he can go back to sleep.
Quirus maintains a watchful eye, and doesn't really talk to you too much. Just kind of says good morning and then goes about his watch. After an uneventful watch, it's time to wake up third.
Ahoy hoy! And watch we shall.
Hot dogs. We've got a warrant. Let's go.
Yeah, Zippo, you would have had a disadvantage anyway.
Yeah, that's all right. Flatly.
And then Belzian somehow has eaten his fruits and vegetables because that's a great roll.
It's the carrots, like Ulrich said.
Yeah, Zippo's just enamored by the rocks, like how like their arms are, like how their wings went out. So he's like reaching up and like he's not grabbing them, but he's just slightly touching the ones he can reach if he can reach any of them.
Okay. One of the feathers comes loose as you kind of pet the rock, and you now have a rock feather. It's about as large as your arm is. It's very big.
Zippo looks at the rider. That's like, I didn't mean to do that.
It happens all the time.
Do you want this, or can I keep it?
It's yours.
Yes! Zippo opens up his bag and runs down and puts it in his treasury hoard.
Okay. So where are you putting it?
Zippo's going to put it on like the tallest object in there.
Okay, so just remind me again where you have everything situated, what things you have where?
Okay, so on the desk, I have that armor, and like, I don't think Zippo has really a lot of other things. He's been giving away stuff, shockingly. I have the armor on the desk, and in one of the drawers of the desk is the Shattered Amulet of Storms.
Okay.
And then he has Atlan's gems in one of the other drawers.
Okay.
And then he'll actually, if he has a drawer big enough, he'll put the feather in one.
The feather would sit on the desk fine, but would not fit in the drawer.
Okay, Zippo set it on the desk under the armor.
Okay. Where did you put Jordan's stories that you had in wrapped
They're
in
the
paper?
chest.
Okay. Got it.
Yep, they're in the chest, and Bruno kind of has like a bit, like, not really a bed, but more of like a lay space underneath the desk
Got it.
with their food and water.
Is there anything else in the chest, or is it just those?
As far as I know, it's just those.
Okay.
So I haven't put anything else in there.
It's just been a while since we've talked about it, so I just was
Yeah,
getting an
actually,
envisioning.
Laying on top of the stories and stuff. Because I'm assuming they wouldn't take up the whole space of the chest.
No, very small amount of it. There's a stack of 4 stories.
Yeah, then those would be on top of. He put all his gold in there, so he has 2,000 gold pieces in there.
Okay.
Underneath that.
So they're kind of stacked on top.
Yeah. They're kind of laying on top, and like he's more or less just keeping them in case he needs to return them to Jordan. And by return, I mean toss as hard as he can when he sees him.
Yeah.
Yep, it's just kind of like there's junk, and then done. Yeah, while he's down there, Zippo cut on Bruno since he got O2. That's it.
So adding-
Anyway.
You're adding to your treasure hoard with that feather there, eh, Zippo? What do you think's gonna be at this supposed vampire treasure?
Honestly, I'm hoping something shiny. And/or in the world powerful. Then I can be like, oh, I'm killing demons myself. Especially that dirty, no good, stupid one.
That would be very convenient.
Yep.
You don't think there's gonna be anything like books of knowledge and wonder or anything neat
God, I
like that?
hope not.
No?
I
hope
hope
so.
not. I don't want books.
I'm sure there'll be a coloring book in there.
I mean, as long as it's made of gold, then yeah, sure.
Huh. I guess we'll have to find out.
What are we talking about? Says the human keeping watch.
Well, I have a treasure map that's in the Vampire Lands that I got from our land, and while we're in the Vampire Lands, we're gonna go by there and see if it's possibly something that I can either use to stop the demons, or something I might possibly need to trade to the vampires in order to get their alliance.
So is
Well,
that where we're headed?
That's where I want to go, but the rest of the party wants to stop by the elves first to talk to them, since they were the ones that kind of were like, hey, it'd be real cool if y'all would, for sure, truce peace for everybody. And we were like, oh, that's our plan anyway. And they were like, oh, cool, we're on board. And so,
Gotcha.
yeah, it was really cool. I got to talk to a giant tree, and he talked back, and it was fun. Zippo's kind of rambling this, like he's just barely peeking out of the bag, and after it gets done, he kind of just goes back down as his pet bird hill again. So time to leave.
So what you got down there, friend?
This is my my stuff that I keep in my my precious baby Brunhild.
What is Brunhild?
Brunhild's a dog.
Can I pet the puppy? Can I come in?
Just this once, Zippo let him come down and pet Brunhild if she's not against it.
Okay. Brunhild looks a little nervous about the stranger. And he looks a little bit nervous about entering the bag. But he kind of climbs in feet first, kind of turns around, goes down the ladder, and kind of gingerly holds out his hand for the dog. And Brunhild sniffs at him and allows him to pet her.
Nice.
While he's petting her, he kind of like looks around and is like, wow, this is fancy.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta, next time we're like stopped long enough not to, not on the run for like, getting peace or anything. Like once we get that stuff done, I'm getting this whole place redone. I'm getting a bed in here for Brunhild and myself.
I've never seen anything like it. I've never thought of staying in a bag of holding. Huh. Next time I'm in town, I'll have to buy one so I can try it out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't think this is a regular bag of holding. I probably wouldn't go into a regular one.
What's the difference?
I haven't a clue. I just know it's like it's not like a normal bag of holding, because a normal bag of holding you can just put stuff in, and but this one you can kind of lay on the ground and it gives you this space, and you put a regular one on the ground, it's just a bag on the ground. But it does suck, especially any points to the water of the river, especially when you're touching that stuff, which is like non-magic, because it makes it a regular bag and it freaks you out.
So, if it turned into a regular bag, would I, if I was in here, what would happen?
I don't know. I have no idea. My best guess is you'd just be lost in a random pocket dimension somewhere.
Is this a desk of holding? Is that a chest of holding?
No, they're regular desks and chests.
Why is this ladder missing rungs?
They were immovable rods that one of my buddies got as a gift from the guy that gave us the bag. He's a trader, by the way.
Wait, he gave you this bag, but he's a trader?
Yes.
Okay. I don't understand. But
See, what happened was he gave us the stuff, and then he used a spell to go back to get one of our other buddies, and then he got the other buddy back to us, but then didn't come back and left forever without saying anything. So, very, very traitor.
Is he alive?
I would assume.
Why would somebody give you all of their stuff and then never talk to you again?
That's what I said!
That sounds like he died. Are you sure you're not in denial, buddy?
I'm positive. He has to be so that I can get revenge on him being a traitor.
Well, it sounds like you have things to work out with him. Well, I'm sorry that you feel betrayed like that. I would... That stinks. Did he leave any gifts for... Oh, I guess that's presumptuous of me. Is there anything that I can have?
No, sadly.
Okay. Figured if he's dead and you're not using it, I might as well ask.
I see that all the desk, like the desk and everything is my board, including the chest, so you can't dig that up on the body.
Okay.
That's why Brunhild's in here too. This is basically my board bag.
Your hoard bag, you said?
Yeah, I'm turning it into a little mini board that I can just take with me so I don't have to worry about nobody touching it.
Just make sure nobody steals your bag.
They better hope if they do that I don't find them, because it will not be fun for them. I killed a Hydra, so imagine the things I can do to a person.
Oh, I wasn't suggesting me. You don't need to threaten.
I'm not. I'm just very excited about this possible treasure. And as like Zippo's saying that, like you know, like in like the movies, they always paint like the serial killers kind of just staring off into space with like a slight smile. Zippo's got like that look going on, but like just slowly petting Brunhild.
He looks around a little bit more, just kind of a little bit in wonder, kind of smiles at the two of you, and then says, okay, well, I better get back to watch. I don't think anybody's watching right now. Let me, and he kind of clambers back up the ladder.
Okay.
If you couldn't guess, this guy is young. He's in his teens. He's not the other human's father, or son, I should say. But he is young.
I mean, he's probably not the other one's father either.
Yes, that's true.
So I suppose have a fun dynamic. Him and Zippo are both young bucks.
Belzian, you see all of this as well as everything around you. The coast is clear. Doesn't seem... Yeah, you're fairly cozy within the confines of the Rockwing. And you kind of wait out the rest of the early afternoon. Just kind of vibing with your bird friends and your bag friends.
Belzian is perceiving so much.
Zippo's like still looking like while he's down there too after the guy said no need to threat. And Zippo's kind of wondering what was the threat when he was just trying to brag about killing a Hydra. Zippo's like, that's awesome. I don't know what he's talking about.
Do you still have the Hydra scales?
Yeah, I forgot about those.
Where are those?
They'd be laying on the desk as well,
Okay, alright.
next to the armor. Dude, he's still like. I always mean to take it out and ask Ulrich if it's better than what he has, but I never do because I forget about it and just leave it down there.
Alright, so the shift ends. It's time for everybody to get up.
So it comes out of the bag and puts back on the side. Then waits patiently at like the rock that he was running on.
Say, do I see Zippo and the kid getting up out of the bag?
The kid got out before the shift ended, but you see Zippo getting out, yeah. Since everybody slept for the night, you no longer have a point of exhaustion.
Slept for the day, you mean?
Yep. That's what I said.
The night day.
Well, onward.
Okay, everybody gathers on the rocks, has a dinner fest, and mounts up on the rocks, and the rocks launch into flight. The 3 rocks fly in a formation with Quiris in the lead, with the other 2 flanking on either side. That formation can change if you would like. But either way, they are flying along the river, so due southwest. They spend some time flapping, going higher and higher into the sky. At some point, they seem to catch some sort of updraft of warm air, and they're carried with less effort up into the clouds. The rocks seem to stay just below cloud cover and go up and down into it. Quiris explains, and so do the other 2 riders to the other flyers, that the reason they're staying at this height is to be able to see, but also to easily go into cloud cover if they need to. Today is a clearer day, so it's kind of like going from cloud to cloud, kind of like you'd go through patches of cover in a plane so that you wouldn't be spotted as easily, just in kind of a 3-dimensional space instead. Anybody doing anything while we are flying?
Once we get into clouds, we're just gonna try to grab the clouds.
Okay. As you get closer to the clouds feel less substantial. They don't look like the fluffy clouds you saw from the ground, and are more like similar to the obscuring mists that you've seen in spells past. Kind of foggy. There's no real point where the cloud begins as you've gotten closer to it.
Zippo finishes grasping at the clouds and kind of just sits there. And that's like just sitting there. He's honestly like he's just sitting there now. He's just kind of like looking at the rock.
Kim basically half-heartedly shrugs and says, "I did the same thing in my first flight."
Just look, why can't you be able to grab them?
He nods and turns back around to fly, guiding the bird to stay in formation as it drifted slightly.
Are we above the clouds, or are we able to identify the clouds in a discernible shape? Are there any?
You're kind of closer to the clouds now, and kind of level with them just below them, so they're not. It's easier to see a shape of a cloud when you're down below it, because you get that shape of it from the right plane. When you're up alongside of it, they all kind of look similar. They're all kind of the same shape.
I see.
They're all kind of just blobs or faded mists.
Wow, that one looks like a blob.
You can see quite a ways from up here. You can make out the Halfling clan forests to the east. You can see the plains extend out to the west. You cannot see your house from here, but you feel like if you were just a little bit higher, maybe you could see Seregen. Probably not realistically, but what do your characters know about flight, right? So
Not enough.
all right. Quiris says that he's going to cut across the river when it curves off to the west, if that's okay, to make better time.
Sounds good to me.
And he continues flying in this direction.
Thinking about it while we're going that way, Zippo's going to pull out his spyglass
Mm-hmm.
and see what he can see, like with the
Okay.
moving in areas.
All right. With your spyglass, you can make perception, or it's not spot checks anymore. It's just perception, right? So you can make perception checks at advantage, which for you means you can knock out that disadvantage from being out in the sunlight.
I thought we were at nighttime.
What was that?
I thought we were traveling in the nighttime.
Well, it was mid-afternoon when you woke up because, 8
Okay,
hours.
gotcha. Okay. Hot dog!
So we're rolling at advantage. Then 28 for me.
Perfect.
He's seeing everything.
All right. So, Roger, what are you looking for with your perception?
I'm looking for things that look like demons at this point.
Okay. Down on the ground, around you, in the river.
Primarily on the ground, but also in the air behind us. I assume the riders are looking forward,
Mhm.
but I do want to make sure that we're not being followed.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. All right, so let's see here. All right, you see nothing.
Okay.
No demons whatsoever.
That is good news. I'll pass that along to the rest of the party and to the riders. It doesn't look like we're being followed by the demons. Frankly, I would be impressed if they could keep up.
Ulrich, which bird are you riding on? I'm kind of making a map for us for our rocks. Are you with Zippo, Ulrich, Yarvik, or Roger? Or
With
Belzian?
Roger. Roger is in the back, and I'm on one of the wings.
Right,
Don't really
okay.
care which, because yeah.
And Belzian's on the left as well, and then Yarvik, Roger, and Zippo are on the back.
Correct.
Alright. One thing I really do hate about rocks is the name is not very easily searchable. Because when you type in rock for hot search, it just gives you a whole bunch of boulders. Just trying to get a bird token. We'll just do a big old falcon. It'll be fine. Gargantuan is 5 squares. Oh, that's not gonna work. That was a shadow. Because huge is 4, so gargantuan is 5, correct?
Yeah.
No, that
Right?
different than it was in 3.5.
It's hold on, maybe I'm wrong. So 1 for medium and small, 2 for large, 3 for huge. 4 for gargantuan.
4 for gargantuan, then 6 for colossal.
Right. It's 4 for gargantuan because it's 3 for huge.
Right.
I mean, the larger size categories
Right.
kind of have weird edges because creatures aren't perfect squares.
Right.
Right, and additionally, anything. The fun thing is it's a starting point for anything, because colossal is no longer a thing technically in 5e.
Yeah.
So gargantuan encompasses anything that begins at 4 squares, but technically it could be bigger.
Got it. Alright, I'm doing a rudimentary thing for us to kind of... And I'll move you guys to the map in a second. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Bam. Alright, you should see the 3. Yep. And then elf. We'll just do this bloke here, and then human. We'll just do one there and one there. All right. Yeah, that should work. That's not really what they look like, but it just gives a general impression. Fair enough? Right.
I think it looks really cool.
Think of it all as the birds are a bit bigger, and so that you don't look like you're covering the bird. It's like your little Klingons. All right.
Klingon, are we in space?
You're in a space.
There we go.
All right. So. About when it's getting closer to evening, about 5 o'clock or so, 6 o'clock, something happens. So, at the last moment, Roger, you kind of see something. It kind of reminds you of like the flicker in the air of like a gas torch. The gas is from a torch, you know, like when heat is rising off of something, it kind of shimmers the air, right?
Okay.
You see the rock kind of flying into something that looks like that. And then the shimmering air erupts into 8 glowing eyes and a circular row of sharp teeth. As the rock kind of flies right into it. Presumably, the rock wasn't flying into it, it was flying into the rock, but it kind of just looks like that from your impression. So, the rock is hit with what seems to be some sort of attack. Let's see here. I'm going to roll an attack on it. Okay. And let me get my rock stats up. Alright. So it hits. And let's see here. What is your AC at this point, Ulrich?
So Ulrich's AC, assuming that he does have his armor off.
I would say you probably put your armor on for flight, right? You're kind of in a dangerous area.
Right. He's strapped in, right? So I don't imagine he'd have a reason to wear the shield. Without the shield, 16.
Okay. Okay, make a will save, please.
Wisdom saving?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. Just making sure. 20 total.
Okay.
Worth noting, if it's frightened effect, I'm immune.
Good to know. What's your AC, Roger?
18.
Okay. So you're also hit by this attack as the this warm air slams into you. It's actually quite hot. And I'll describe kind of a little bit more about this in a second. Make a wisdom save, please.
How much damage did I take, by the way?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
So what was your score?
12.
12. Okay. All right. So you take 1 point of intelligence damage, and you are confused. Could you roll a 1d4 for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
4.
For 3 rounds, you are going to be confused. So let me get out my status effect deck for you. But let me describe in the meantime what's going on. So this shimmering cloud that kind of smacked into the rock, the rider, and the two of you kind of envelops the entire creature, and as you pass through it, you're kind of struck by something that feels like it's eroding your very soul. You hear voices surrounding you, which you kind of, Ulrich, you kind of instinctively cover your ears, and so does Quiris. But Roger, being better at hearing and perceiving things, isn't able to fully cover his ears and is affected by it. Roger, you hear sounds of past hunted enemies that you've assassinated in times past, promising to kill you. You hear your brother cursing your name for leaving him. You hear your parents screaming out in pain as if they were being murdered. Which is ultimately, all of this is so traumatic, it puts you into a state of confusion.
Alright. What does confusion do exactly?
So,
Or wait, here, I should be able to... No, I don't have that.
I don't think confusion is a thing in 5th edition, so I'm just going to roll with this. You being confused means for the next 3 rounds, we'll roll a 1d10 to determine what your actions are. And I'll tell you when you roll what those actions are, and you can interpret them based on the situation. So obviously some of them are going to be harder to do in the air, but we'll roll with it and go from there.
Alrighty. Can other people tell that I'm freaking out?
So Belzian, Yarvik, and Zippo. Zippo, you've already made a perception check. You don't see this. Belzian and Yarvik, you can make an attempt to see if this, see what happened. Ulrich, you're in high alert. You know something just hit you. Whatever it is passes by you, like you move out of its space as you're moving forward, or it moves away from you, whichever the case might be. But Quiris kind of reins in the rock to kind of hover in place, and the other two follow suit, kind of as a reaction to this attack, to see what's going on.
At this point, should we roll initiative, or do we have some time before that happens?
I would say it's time to roll initiative, yes.
Man, I am rolling like absolute garbage today.
Well, I mean, it's better than last
25. Got those lightning reflexes, let's go.
Freaking out and fast.
Let's hope I don't have to run away or something, because what will happen is I will get up out of the saddle and walk.
I think you're restrained in there pretty good. I don't know if there's like an eject button on a rock.
Okay, so Jaeger is at 16. We've got Ulrich. I don't know why it didn't work this time, but we're just going to roll with it. Is also at 16, but goes after Jaeger because of his initiative modifier. So I'll do 15.5. We've got Zippo at 6. Okay, and we've got Belzian at 17. We've got Roger at 25. Quiris is at 7. Could whoever wrote down the names of the other two, since I'm kind of in this right now, could you just tell me what their names are, please?
Raven Watermaw and Tokim.
Raven Raven got a... We'll just have them all go together. That's fine. The first two rolled the same, so it's fine. And then it's Toe, right? TOH.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. As for the creature, all right. I don't know why Jaeger is now at 16, but yeah, there we go. All right. And I don't know why Roger. Come on, reorder things, please.
That's not how this works. Not how any of this works.
Ascending.
Descending. I think is
Descending.
what you want.
There we go. All right. All right. Roger, roll a d10.
All right, Confusion, it's your turn to shine.
All right.
3.
3. You do nothing for 1 round. Solid first round. Excellent.
I'm going to interpret this as Roger is stunned and shell-shocked. He's not going to be communicating at all. He's kind of staring off into the distance.
Okay.
Kind of like alert, but not alert at anything that is actually happening.
Sounds good. All right. It's the creature's turn. All right. Let's see here. All right. I've got an idea. So nope, that's not gonna work. Why isn't it? Come on. Curse you. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. But anyway, Zippo, what's your AC?
14.
Okay. Let's make an attack. Okay. So, you are hit, and I deal... Okay, so I deal 4 damage to you. And let's see here. Let me look something up real quick. Okay. So, as it touches you and you get that 4 damage, as the wind itself kind of sears your skin, you experience a racking pain that imposes a -4 penalty on attack rolls, skill checks, and ability checks. If you fail to make the save. So make a save, please.
Hey, let's go! Nat 20.
Nice. Alright, so it's only a -2. Hooray! Alright, I'm gonna put this on here. But what I'll say to this is, it doesn't look like this. This is just for my benefit, just to see. Okay. And I will move it into the GM layer for now. All right. It is now Belzian's turn.
I didn't see that because it's on the GM layer. But right before Roger get hit, I rolled a 28 on perception if I was able to perceive any of this happening.
So
I don't know.
you, with a 28, you noticed that something went through the rock here and caused...
Yeah, we all stopped, right?
Yeah, it caused him to stop, and then we all stopped. So you're kind of like looking around, and you saw for a second like a ripple around the bird and the party before it kind of, you lost track of it. And you do notice that Roger seems to be kind of reeling in place a little bit.
Now, this was going to be one of those, like, how's it going, eh? Kind of like, is everybody okay kind of turn? But I'm probably not going to get a lot of response. So, Belzian's going to take the dodge action and just continue to be, attempting to be perceptive.
Okay. You notice just behind Zippo's rear that around this area that same ripple is in effect.
Belzian mentions he has a bad feeling about this.
Okay. Jaeger.
Dark vision for I think the
It's
priority is-
not fully dark yet. It's you still have enough
Enough that I-
light to see. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there anything to shoot at? Can I see it? It doesn't sound like I can. Would I be able to see anything to shoot at?
Did you roll a perception check yet to see what's going on?
Before initiative, I think.
Yes,
yeah,
11. Yeah, you can't see anything.
Just gonna ask over the rings if anybody knows what's going on. But it's not really. He's gonna just ready his bow, and blue Giles. Since I believe that's lightning or some kind of electrical damage. Yeah, lightning damage. I'm gonna ready those, but I got nothing to shoot at yet, so that's just
So you're readying an action to shoot whatever threatens the party.
yes. Once a threat presents itself.
Okay. Ulrich.
Is trying to figure out what happens, what came at him.
Okay.
Let's see. He might. You know what? Actually, he would do this. Let's see. No, that's not what I was thinking it was. Yeah, he's gonna just try and perceive,
Okay.
I think. I thought I had I forgot that paladins don't have a particular spell. I was thinking clerics.
Is it detect evil?
No. There's just like a radius spell, like Spirit Guardians, I think. But I have Spirit Shroud. So a big old 3 crit fail.
All right. Sounds good. You're kind of too distracted by your buddy who's kind of gone catatonic, despite your attempts to alert him. And you kind of like look around to see if anything's coming, but that's about as far as you go.
Yeah. I think. As a bonus action, Ulrich will cast Shield of Faith on Roger,
Okay.
and that just gives Roger an extra +2 to AC.
Hooray! I may need it.
Right? No, it's range. So we're good.
All right. Cool. Quiris is trying to urge his rock to move, and it's just kind of flapping in place. It seems like he did not pull up the rock of his own volition. It is hovering in place. The other two are kind of looking at Quiris, see what's going on, what should they do. And Quiris says she's not moving. She won't go. And he tells them to stay away from the rock, and tells you you both to get ready where it seemed to be under attack. Obviously, but like that's just what he does. The other two draw their bows. Quiris has a spear. He's got a bow as well, but he's pulled out a spear. They ready in action to attack something that moves too. Zippo.
Yay! So Zippo still can't tell where it is, can he?
So you're not sure what hit you at this point. No.
I suppose we'll try to see if we can see where they located him. Oh, he don't see.
That's the same roll from before.
Yep. Only that's got a -2 on him.
Yep. That's all you do?
That's all I can do.
All right, Roger, roll a d10.
Alrighty.
Ooh,
A7.
A 7. That's a different one. You attack the nearest creature for 1 round.
Would that be the Rock or Ulrich?
Whichever you think would be the nearest creature to you. Remember, you interpret it as you will.
I think from Roger's perspective, the rock is a piece of scenery,
Okay,
and the nearest creature is Ulrich.
got it.
So if I don't have any weapons out, I guess I'm drawing my bow and shooting wildly, but Ulrich ends up being the target.
Okay. Rolls for attack. That beats his
That's
AC.
20.
Yep.
Sure hope this doesn't count as sneak attack, because this one's gonna hurt.
Well, it is.
I actually rolled
he
really badly for sneak attack.
So he already went in combat, so there's no assassination. He doesn't incur a dexterity penalty, so it's not a sneak attack.
Cool. You are gonna get an arrow in the back, buddy.
Mm-hmm. No worries.
Roger will say some gibberish, something incomprehensible, but both over the rings and out loud.
Okay. Could you imitate that for me? I'd like to hear it.
And let's go. Let's an arrow fly. Basically, just kind of mumbling.
All right, 6 piercing damage, Ulrich.
God. Ah, dumbass.
All right. The rock cries out in mental anguish. Doesn't seem to experience any physical wounds. It seems to shake its head wildly and drops a little bit. Kind of plummets a little bit and then catches itself again as it reacts to the pain. You drop 10 feet lower. With a lurch. Zippo, nothing further happens to you. But the rock that Belzian and Yarvik are on, wind begins picking up around you in a 30-foot radius, and a swirling cloud kind of forms around you in a whirlwind. The cloud obscures all your vision, including dark vision, beyond 5 feet. The rock is not going to be able to move out of it. It's caught up in the whirlwind, and so are you. So it's not going to fall, but it's not going to be able to get out of it at the moment. You can, if you're... Alright, yep. I'd like everyone in the cloud to make a dexterity saving throw or an athletics check, whichever you prefer, to hold on.
Is that everyone or just the...
Just the rock that's being attacked.
Okay.
Alright.
Who turned out the lights?
Amidst the whirlwind, Belzian and Yarvik, you see 8 eyes wink into existence at various points in the circle, all staring inward at you. And every so often a flash of teeth. They're not in one grouping, they're lining the circle that's within the whirlwind. So everyone who's outside of that whirlwind sees basically the rock enveloped in what seems to be a small tornado, a small torrent of wind, kind of swirling around it in a dense cloud, dark clouds. All right, Belzian.
Belzian feels very watched. But he would probably, amidst his freaking out, mention over the rings that there may be some kind of spider up here with us, with 8 eyes. Kind of freaky wind spider. Are we in like a little whirlwind still, or is that a small amount of time?
You're still within the whirlwind, so you can only see 5 feet in front of you.
Can I try to dissipate the whirlwind with like some kind of strength or athletics?
Sure. You could try attacking it.
Just like wave it away like a smelly fart.
Okay. Could you roll D100 for me?
$53.
Okay. You come into contact with something. The air itself seems to solidify for a moment as you punch through it and deal damage.
Something. Did you want
Yeah, please
just
roll.
like a regular punch?
Well, whatever your attack punch would be.
Eh, 11.
11 damage. Okay. And that's just normal damage.
It is considered magical in case of resistances.
Okay,
It's just a bludgeoning attack otherwise.
good to know.
I think I found the spider. And I'll use a key point to... I guess that's... I don't know if that counted as my action and my bonus action, but if I have a bonus action still, I will take
I would
patient
say you
defense.
still have a bonus.
Yeah, so more dodging.
Okay. Jaeger.
So these things are within punching distance, correct? The eye, whatever he just did. Assuming if we can only see 5 feet and we can see an eye, that they're close.
Yeah, you're within a whirlwind. It seems like striking the whirlwind amounted to something. You saw Belzian punch it because he's 5 feet away, so you can see what he does.
Yeah. I'm not going to use my bow for something 5 feet away. So I'm going to change to the short sword, and I'm going to take a swipe at the closest thing I can hit.
Okay. All right. Your sword seems to pass through the air.
Okay, I'm just going to focus up and try it again.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Your sword seems to pass through the air.
Okay, that's it.
All right. Oric.
With Ulrich seeing that the birds are kind of freaking out as well, he's going to try to detect. I'm kind of torn between blessing things, detecting things. Okay. He is going to try to know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover as an action.
Okay.
It's going to use his divine sense.
Within 60 feet, let me just measure something. And add 10 feet up. Okay. Alright, so just as a heads up, Ulrich's going to be the only one that can see these guys, but they will be appearing on the map now.
Hooray! These, does that imply there are more than one?
Yes. Yes, it
Oh,
does.
So, worth saying that he knows the location, but he still can't see them.
Correct.
technically.
You know the location, so I'm giving you the location. But
Perfect.
so the location of this one seems to be within the
Yeah.
rock itself. Is the location.
Right.
The other one seems to be within the whirlwind that's enveloping this rock.
Okay.
I'll put it
And
actually
then-
like right there for you.
Ah, boy. You can see. So that's not going to work.
Maybe if Belzian and I
So-
just have like a black fight.
This is telling you know the location. Okay. So I think I'm just double checking. As a bonus action. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else that I can do here.
Okay.
So he knows the location.
Okay.
I mean, you know, he'll if he can convey anything, but I don't think he's learned anything that wasn't sort of apparent already, probably.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Do you let anybody know that there's more than one?
yeah. I mean, I think he'll convey to you know, to everyone as best as he can that hey, there's. Oh, sorry. What form is this? Is it Fae? Is it
It's Fiend.
Fiend? Okay. He'll convey that you know, there's a fiendish presence inside the head of the rock he's on, and you know, there's one in between. It seems to be the whirlwind that they're caught up in, but it's some sort of fiend.
Okay. All right. Toe tries to. No, Toe is over here. Toe kind of flies the three around to try and discern what's going on. With the other two. So he'll place himself right here. Hoping to get away from whatever attacked Zippo. But still not really being able to see anything. He does see the whirlwind, but isn't sure about shooting into it in case he hits the other members of the group. Raven is going to attempt to move the rock out of the whirlwind. And the rock does not succeed in escaping it. Seeing Belzian attack the whirlwind itself, he tries shooting into it. Let's roll a d8 to see which direction he shoots in. 1, 2, so he's shooting this way. Makes an attack. It's a hit. Rolled 6 damage. Zippo.
Okay. So I have some questions.
Yes.
Alright, so how far up can I see?
You can see up about 80 feet until the cloud cover hits.
Okay. So my next question is so given that Auric told us there's more than one, and he probably doesn't know because he can't see them, but given that the whirlwind is there as well, would he assume that the creatures are kind of like above where the attacks are coming out? Or would that be like our lead?
Would he be able to tell the area you said?
Yeah, he's just trying to see if it's like the creatures are on the same level as where they're attacking or if they're above it.
So you see that there's a whirlwind. You don't know if the creature is causing the whirlwind or if it is the whirlwind. And you see that the rock itself is right, kind of like in pain, and has lowered slightly. The one where Ulrich and Roger are.
Okay.
That's the information you've got.
Okay. Because I have an idea, but if the idea doesn't go the way I'm thinking the idea will go, I might end up killing at least a couple party members, if not a rock.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's see here. Okay. What would be the best way to do this? Well, better to test it out with a non-murder immediately spell, so. Zippo is going to... Can he see... So, like, he can see the whirlwind here. Can he see the rock? Like, does the whirlwind stop at the rock, or does it cover the rock?
It's covering the whole rock, the whole thing.
Okay, gotcha. This is all working on assumptions. So, assuming that we're on the same level as these guys... Actually, we're above these ones.
Yes.
I want to cast some spells, but we don't want to murder team members. So I'm very limited on the spells I can cast if I can't see them.
Yeah.
I can cast AoEs all day, but I don't want to kill everybody in the party with them.
If you can figure out where they are, you can mind spike them, right?
Let me see here.
Or do you actually need to perceive them in some
So,
like, specific
with
way?
the Psychic Lance, I have to be able to see them within range. Alternatively, I can utter a creature's name, but we don't know what these creatures are called, so... Yeah. So, in Zippo's ever genius, he is going to do the only thing he can think of, which is assuming that we're on the same level as these guys. Zippo is going to fire up, like... Well, no, because he wouldn't be able to miss his driver. Never mind. There's no way in this that I don't kill somebody. So, in an effort to stop what's happening there, Zippo is going to fire a fireball at the top, or not top, but about 20 feet above, like straight in front of him,
Okay.
at the whirlwind. So he's going to hit like into the whirlwind with a fireball, hoping that he can cast it so he's just out of range of hitting the teammates, but he doesn't know because he's working off assumptions.
Okay. Do me a favor and roll a D100.
Okay. 22.
Okay. Spell resistant, or sorry, not fire resistant. So it's a DC 17. And that is a dexterity.
Yep.
Okay, he fails. So you deal
Whatever I feel.
35 damage?
35 fire.
Okay. Cool. It's still up. So you don't manage to hit any of your party members.
Perfect.
And you did manage to hit it. The effect of the fireball actually dissipates the whirlwind. The whirlwind stops as you hit it. And you hear a great cry out of pain. The creature is a darkened cloud for a second, and you can see its 8 eyes turn toward you before they kind of shimmer away. A grinning maw shimmers away as well as it disappears.
I'm in danger.
Roger,
Is it time to roll a d10?
it is. Last one, though. Hopefully.
10.
10. We'll go out with a bang. You
Yeah,
act
that's-
normally for 1 round.
Yeah, but I can't see anything.
You can see.
Well, I can't. You know what I mean.
You can't see any of the creatures, yes.
Yeah.
So basically, your confusion ends now. Because you're acting normally and this is the last round. So you shake it off early.
Yeah, but there's not actually much I can do if I can't see them. And if I'm remembering correctly, firing arrows into the whirlwind was not particularly effective.
Nobody fired into the whirlwind in fear of hitting teammates. And the whirlwind is now gone because of Zippo's blast.
Yeah. God, I didn't have a plan. I was expecting to have my action forced. I guess I will roll perception to see if I can determine where they are.
Sure.
And if Ulrich has shouted out anything about where they are, or maybe I heard that, maybe not. 29 on perception.
Okay. You see shimmering here in front of the rock. You also see that the rock in front of you has kind of that shimmering feel kind of around its head.
Do you mind pinging on the map exactly what you mean by in front of me?
Like the rock that you're on, its head is got that shimmer all around it.
What about the other one?
The other one is kind of in front of it. About the place where it kind of evaporated while looking at Zippo. Guess I can also take away the circle now.
I'm not quite sure where that is, but okay. Yeah, that is not at all where. So there's some shimmering over there in front of that one, and then one on the one that we're on.
Yes.
I guess I'll try and my longbow's not magical. You know what I'll do? I'm going to cast Silent Image.
Okay.
And I'm going to place like a terrible. It's gonna look like Zippo's drawing
Mm-hmm.
of a demon over over where I saw the shimmering in front of the other rock. So not the one that's overlapping with us. I'll say there's still something there. And I'll drop silent image on top of it.
So you're putting a silent image on top of where you think one of them might be.
Yes.
Okay.
Where you said I saw the shimmering was roundabouts here.
For the rock or that you're near, or the one near your party members?
The one that's overlapping the head I am going to ignore for now. The one that's hanging out in free space.
Okay, alright.
I'll go ahead and drop the silent image text in there. So I'm gonna have to concentrate on that.
Okay, so about there.
Yeah, perfect.
So like my drawing?
Your drawing is wonderful. We'll put it on the fridge later.
Alright.
And I'll say to Ulrich, there's another one right on the head of this thing.
Glad you're feeling better.
So it's it's no larger than a 15-foot cube. So it's like big.
It no larger than a 15-foot cube. You can be smaller.
How big do you want it?
I want it to reflect the approximate actual size of whatever shimmering I saw.
Okay. Yeah.
To the nearest 5 feet, really.
So you're just trying to mark it so that the party has something to attack. Is that kind of what I'm
Yeah.
inferring?
Yeah,
Got it.
that's my goal. If like something gets within melee range and I can attack it with a magical weapon, I'll try. But this thing, the one it looks like it's inside of the rock that I'm flying.
Yeah.
So my mind is going, this is a ghost or ghost demon of some kind, and probably can't hurt it with arrows. But I can sure as hell show other people where the thing that I saw was.
That's fair enough. All right. Anything else?
I think that probably covers all the actions I can realistically take.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah, that did the same thing again.
All right, Zippo. What's your AC? 14?
Yay. But
Uh-huh.
when I go to get attacked,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to cast Shield.
Okay. That gives you an AC bonus?
Yep, it makes my AC 19.
Perfect. I
don't
still
know if it
hit
matters
ya.
with this creature, but just in case.
Yeah, I still hit ya. Good try, though. All right. So, you take 2 points of damage, and then make a wisdom save, please.
Hot diggity dog, I'm gonna inspiration that baby.
Okay.
That's a little better.
You
Probably not
take
good enough, but
1 point of temporary intelligence damage. Similar to Roger, I need you to make a 1d4 roll, please. Okay, for 1 round, you're confused. So when you act, you're going to be acting by rolling a d10 and figuring out what we do from there.
Very sorry, guys.
This is going to be fun.
If you get attack a party member, please lightning bolt Roger. I can survive that.
Belzian.
Yo, I just want to
So
say
no more
Jaeger's
whirl.
up 48.
I like how Jaeger's initiative just gets higher every round.
Yeah, it's because I accidentally put a modifier on it, so it just increases. I actually will say this. Roger, you notice this happening with your consistent perception. The other one that was in the rock moves over this way.
I'll draw Zippo's attention to it after he's taken his confused action, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We can all see this silent image here in front of the rock, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just gonna start lofting darts in its general direction.
Zippo, take another 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh no.
You're already confused, so there's not much else that happens. Actually,
Increased confusion turns.
let me just check that. No, actually, I apologize. That's gonna... So you already have the -2 penalty still, too. So, yeah, yep, never mind. Yep, yeah, that's all you get. You've already got all the stuff, so... Yeah, actually that wisdom save would have been less, too, anyway. Because it's -2 to that. Alright. It is now... so Belzian, what are you doing?
Oh,
Sorry.
Belzian's gonna take some darts under the bandolier and just yeet at the silent image.
Okay.
Maybe not.
So, according to the spell, physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion because things can pass through it. A creature that
It does not
uses this
dispel it.
action. So you see the
If I-
crude illusion throw darts at it, and it kind of you see the darts go through it, and you know for a fact that it's definitely not the demon.
I got him! Oh no!
It's definitely not the demon. You don't seem to see the darts hit anything else.
Oh no!
Jaeger.
16.
Sure, I'll try to shoot at the image that is now shimmering and waving, and I clearly know it's not the thing, but it might be under there, so maybe? Let me use the blue arrow. I don't actually have the additional lightning damage for this, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
Okay. You're shooting with the blue arrow, you said?
Correct, that's the lightning one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's a hit. If you'd like to roll damage. Alright.
You're saying, and then, so that gets, so I should have said I was declaring the, to get the lightning damage out of that one, you have to channel.
Mhm.
So you use the bonus action.
Yeah.
So what is what's the damage roll for that? For the lightning damage?
Let me double check for you. It is Oh wow. I made this item. Oh, it's almost the anniversary of me making this item. So that's the blue fletching. It deals lightning damage instead of its normal damage type. So it just replaces the damage type.
Okay, so just 11 damage, 11 lightning damage.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so since that's a bonus action, you don't get the second shot, right? Because the second shot is normally my bonus action. Is that correct?
I believe so. If that's what it's worded, that it's your bonus action to shoot the additional shot. If you have two shots, then you can shoot 2 shots.
I'm checking right now. Hold on a second. Extra attack. No, it just says you can get an extra attack, so I do still get the extra attack.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to pull up a black arrow, which is going to be force damage.
Okay.
Is that a hit? Assuming that's a hit.
So when you shoot this arrow, you're about to let go of your arrow when you're shooting right at the where the illusion is. That's kind of showing you where to hit, and at the last second, the bow kind of, you feel a pull that pulls up your arm a bit before you let go, throwing off your shot. You overshoot the drawing itself, and your arrow goes here instead, this direction, out this way, and comes into contact with something right about here, and hits something.
Okay, so let's roll damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then an additional, that one gets 1d6 force damage.
Correct. All right. Anything else?
Anything else? Just gonna ask the bow. What? That's Deegan. What was that? What happened there?
You were gonna miss. I helped you not.
All right. Thanks for the assist.
Ulrich.
Okay. Ulrich can still sense the presence of anything within 60 feet. Knowing that yeah, that's in that direction. He'll roll with disadvantage on an attack. Crossbow.
Zippo, by the way, you're also, since you're confused, you hear your clan members from your kobold clan kind of harassing you like they did back before you tried to prove yourself. They're blaming you for killing them all. Rift says that you're nothing, and you hear the laughter of your master. That's what you're hearing.
Oh, Zippo's very mad, like very upset, like he's blinded by rage.
Ulrich.
Yep. So Ulrich is going to fire off crossbow bolt at disadvantage. Can't actually see it. So 18. at this one here.
Okay. Roll D100 for me.
$52.
All right. Roll damage.
Okay. Nine regular on non-magical piercing.
Okay. Perfect.
And my ability to sense these ends at that time.
All right.
At the end of my turn, I guess. So, actually, since it's at the end of my turn, bonus action, spiritual weapon. We'll do it as 3rd level. Boy, I don't know if the spiritual weapon's also a disadvantage, but let's say it is, I guess. So 15 to hit.
Here, where is it?
Probably just anywhere. That's good.
Alright.
Would a 15 hit it?
It does not.
Okay. But spiritual weapon. I mean, I guess we're flying forward, aren't we?
We're kind of, right now, kind of hovering in place as best we can.
Okay. Alright, then. Cool. That's it.
Alright. Because remember, your rock came up short when it was ensnared. So. Alright.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if that was, with us moving forward at the same time.
Alright. Quiris says, why don't you say we get the fuck out of here? I think I've gotten control of my rock.
I mean, yeah,
Yes,
everyone, we go.
Didn't you say the rock couldn't move?
She seems to have gained control again. I don't know what came over her, but she seems okay now. A little worse for wear, but she's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, we encourage if everyone can fly, retreat, escape, all that good stuff.
All right, and he flies that way, off the battlefield, basically. 120 feet. Toe. So Toe.
Well, the illusion gets yanked if as soon as it gets to maximum range.
Okay, all right. So I'm just trying to grab everything. Toe circles around. Here we go. Toe circles around and tries to get back in the formation, incurring 2 attack of opportunities from the creatures that have been pursuing the group. One attacks. They're both going to attack the rock, being it's the mobility for those members. One misses. The other hits. Alright, let's see here. Probably shouldn't have moved him. Alright, does a slam. 3 damage plus. What would it try and do? Yeah, it's probably going to do that. Alright. Okay, the rock makes a saving throw. Okay.
Just to make sure, this is the rock carrying Garvik and Belzian?
No, it's the rock carrying Zippo and Toe.
Okay.
Um,
How far away are they from me? They're...
they've just flew into formation, so they are now within 10 feet, 15 feet.
Okay. Yeah, if it was closer, it would be one thing, but unfortunately 15 feet is just outside my range.
Okay, Zippo. I need you to write down in your character sheet 3 days. Tell me when 3 days has passed.
Okay.
That will be probably in a later session, so just, I'll try and remember as well, but yeah. Alright. That doesn't
So I
sound
have to go
ominous at
crazy?
all, right? Alright.
Dun, dun.
And then the others also follow suit and peel off. This dissipates, you said. Your spiritual weapon is left behind, Ulrich, and the group continues
Yep.
flying forward. And away from the crazed winds. The winds attempt to pursue Roger. You can kind of see the flickers fade away. They can't keep up with the rocks.
I'll pass that on to the party. It looks like we're losing them. Whatever those things were.
Elzian keeps complaining about 8 eyes. Maybe they were octopi. Or octopuses. Those have 8 eyes. No, those are spiders. Sky spiders.
Alright, I'm gonna pull us out of combat.
So Zippo doesn't go crazy. For this, thankfully. They don't burn the whole town down.
So I guess we do have one more D10 to roll. Let's see what happens. Zippo, could you roll a D10 for me as the party is escaping? So you rolled a 4. Zippo, you do nothing for 1 round, so you're kind of catatonic in the back of this rock. It's all things considered, probably the best possible solution.
I already had it planned that if I had to attack somebody, I was so angry I was 6th level fireballing it.
Boom.
Anger explosion.
If you would have rolled a 1, you would have wandered away.
So that's the thing that I was worried about. So like Roger gets up and walks away. Yep, sure does. Right out of the saddle.
I mean, you would have to take a move action to take off your restraints. So if you did a double move, maybe.
So the thing is, as a rogue, my bonus action can be a move.
Okay,
and
yeah.
I do that constantly.
That's fair. Yep. That would have been interesting. Confusion. I miss confusion. I'm gonna keep it. I like it. Alright.
Yeah, there is a spell effect. I assume that's what you're working off of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the party puts its distance between it and the strange winds that attacked, and continues flying south. You fly into the night, and you're flying over the Halfling clan lands now. Interestingly enough, as night is falling, you notice that there is the footprints of a third giant dragon turtle. You're just getting the sights today. You don't see...
There's one down south.
Yep, you don't see it at present, but you see its footprints. They're heading into the forest from here. looks like they were coming from this direction and going this direction.
However this all turns out, I'm going to have to come back here and spend some time in the halfway line.
Do you think you'll get like cool wings or anything like that?
I don't know, but it would be pretty sweet.
Would be pretty sweet.
You might have to worry about falling out of a tree again.
Or falling off these rocks.
True.
As you fly south west, you see down in the forest what appears to be large lunar moths and butterflies glowing as they kind of flitter about in the forest edge. They're definitely not halflings like the ones you saw over in the western part of the continent over this way. Or eastern, excuse me. We're in the western. These seem to be just glowing butterflies. I mean, if you can say just about giant glowing insects.
Just over 100 feet away, you said?
Just along the forest edge. You're up, flying up high right now.
If any of them get within 150 feet, I will shoot them.
Okay. Yeah, they're not close to you. They're kind of just doing their thing down below. The group passes through this area and starts joining back up with the river. You can see it kind of glisten in the moonlight as you continue forward. And by this point, it's getting closer to light again, and it's the group is getting tired. Quiris says it's getting time to rest.
Yep, I mean, they know their beasts. We should adhere.
Let's take us down, I suppose. Better safe than sorry.
All right.
I mean, we just appreciate flying southwest, you know. Could have been anything, but southwest is the way we flew.
I love it.
Turned out Spirit was pretty bad. Delta was unavailable.
Yep. And JetBlue's bag policy is a bit harsh.
I mean, it seems like you've already you passed Spirit earlier too. It was a bad time.
That's right. It was a very bad time.
I think Air Seregen's out of commission.
Might be worth trying to spare some healing for the rocks.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't even think about it. If obviously if the beasts are in need of any healing, Ulrich can cover that.
Okay. The beasts and Zippo seem to have felt the brunt of most of it. Zippo, how badly are you damaged?
Missing 14 feet.
Like I said, I'll heal the beast. No, I'm just kidding. I'll also heal Zippo.
That should be alright. A little bit of rest.
Yeah, but it can get you a full. I mean, how? I do 14 lay on hands for Zippo, just so that it's done, and then I continue to lay hands on beasts until I exhaust 41 points.
Okay. You don't exhaust all 41.
Okay, how low do I go?
let's see here. So, your rock, there's some damage it seems to be nursing that you can't heal. Presumably from when it was being affected mind-wise. The temporary intelligence damage will heal at dawn for both you and Zippo, Roger.
Okay.
And so let's see. It would be 16 damage from both of the rocks, Ulrich.
Or total.
Total.
Okay.
They mainly attacked smaller members.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone else that seems to be healing, or can do it, he's all gonna just out of curiosity do a lesser restoration on Zippo while he's healing him.
Okay.
Don't know if that does anything for him, but worth a try.
That's a good question. Since it's temporary, so it's temporary intelligence damage. Would lesser restoration normally heal that?
I'll be honest, I don't feel like it would. You touch a creature, it's a disease or a condition. The conditions outlined are blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. But I just thought I'd toss it out there just in case.
And you're doing that on Zippo, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll also do it on the rock, my rock.
Okay.
Specifically.
Give me a wisdom check, please.
Mm-hmm. Just a 5.
Okay. Yeah, so, with that, I'm going to say that the party rests for the night, and we'll pick up next time, we'll say we'll pick up next time at the rest. Okay, so we'll start off with, us in the rest. Because it's 10:51 now. Sound good?
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've made some pretty good progress today in terms of travel. You're already almost out of the Halfling Clan lands. You've traveled more in this session than you have pretty much in any other session that you've traveled, except for maybe by tree back forever ago. But actually I think you've traveled faster than that. Maybe when you went from Freehold to the Elmorel outskirts, I think that was all one session. So yeah, about that amount of distance. These rocks are handy things.
They rock.
They rock.
All right, folks. So I will say this. Next session is scheduled for the 25th, which happens to be my birthday.
Whoa!
So I don't know if that's going to work out too well. That being the case, I'm thinking that we'll probably be doing something on that day, like my wife and I. So we might want to think about meeting on the 1st or a different day that week, or next week on the 18th if you'd like. And if that's the case, we can switch up our Tuesday days. If that's not going to work, we can continue the schedule but just do an off session for the 25th at some point other time to make up. I'm going to leave that to you folks to decide. I'm off that whole week, so I'm pretty flexible except for that day. just because my wife usually lays claim to me on my birthday. So,
Fair enough.
um,
I'm not sure if I'm available next week. I'll have to ask my wife. Other days I could, in theory, do would be Thursday, Friday. But,
Yeah, I
We'll
could
see.
theoretically do Friday the 28th. By Go
the week of the 25th is probably not going to work for me, actually. I'm going to be on vacation that week.
okay.
okay.
Yeah, that's me too. So, would you have already been on vacation anyway? For the 25th and not been able to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't feel so bad about saying that then. Thanks. Appreciate you. All right, so we're definitely not going to be meeting in 2 weeks. So let's plan on either making up that session by doing the 18th or the 1st, and we'll go from there. Is that a solid plan? I don't know if Bane has any problem with that or not.
We'll keep in touch on the Discord and I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'll figure it out, eh?
We can always just be flexible or whatnot. I just don't want to leave it to go to, like, now that we have this momentum, like, lose it all again and not meet until the 8th. So let's try and figure something out, but we'll let everyone know in Discord what that is, and we'll let you know out there in Twitchland. Thank you for joining us again. It's been a blast. Love you all out there. Thank you for being here. And folks, the party, excellent session. Good work fighting those mysterious creatures. Hopefully we'll never have to see those
we
again.
Showed them. We showed them.
Yeah, we showed them our tail.
I showed them a fireball.
Your new fireball spell that you just got, you got to use, which is cool.
Fireball hype.
Yeah.
Every
I was going
campaign
to
you play.
lightning bolt, but it was like it's an allowance, so I'm guaranteed to hit somebody, and the only person I can really realistically hit, even if I shot it upwards, is the guy in front of me. He's my driver, so
Yep, fair enough. Yeah, it's tough when you have to accommodate for things that might make you plummet to the ground if you kill.
yo.
Alright, well, we'll see y'all next time, whenever that is. But in the meantime, be safe, be excellent, and be well. Have a good night.
GG, thanks for
Yeah.
playing.
Night.